Hey guys, welcome back. Dream Reaper 23 here on another ride. We got some rain that came through a little earlier, but it left it to where it's nice and cool on the ride. So how you guys doing today? I hope you guys are doing well. I am doing well myself. Thank you so much for asking. I do appreciate all you guys doing the comments and stuff like that on the last couple of videos that have gone up, the owner's review, the answering your questions, and the first motovlog. I do really appreciate that. It does help me to go through and get ideas for kind of what kind of things you guys want to know about whenever I'm doing these motovlogs. Hopefully I do have somebody that comes up behind me, because I don't think I'm going to register with this light, and it's always a pain in the butt. So we shall see how that goes. Yay! I have a friend. So as you guys can see, I am now at 491 miles on the odometer. The break-in, the first oil change on the 2021 model of the V7 850 is 600 miles. I already scheduled in my first oil change with the dealership, so that way that's always, you know, done and on there for warranty and stuff like that. So I got it scheduled in. I asked them because it's scheduled for the 26th and today is the 14th. So I was like, you know, is it something to where I need to keep it under the 600 miles, or is it good if it goes over the 600 miles, because it's, you know, like whenever I scheduled it, it was like 2 weeks away. And they're like, you know, try to keep it between 600 and 800 basically. Try not to go too high over. If you come in at like 1200 or 1400 miles, it can go through and start having questions with warranty stuff. So I said, okay. So that is when I will get my first oil change in, is the 26th. And I'll switch it over from the dyno oil and everything like that that's on the bikes whenever they come out of the manufacturer, and switch it up to the synthetic. So I am trying to get some riding in while I can, because we do have another 5 days of rain coming up, and not looking forward to that. So tomorrow, which is Saturday, which this might be the day that the video goes up, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is like scattered thunderstorms and showers. So I don't know how much riding I will be able to get done on those days, just because if it's actively raining, I don't actively try to go out unless I need to, in which case I take my Fiat. So got some gravel and loose stuff here on the road. Whenever I do make these videos, the motovlogs, I do always go through and edit them down from all of the time that goes into recording the motovlog. So that might be an hour of recording that I edit down to about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, somewhere in there. If you guys though would like, I can go through and put up to where it's unlisted, but like still just like a link inside the video, so that you guys, if you want to watch the unedited one of just the ride, I can definitely have that up there. I mean, I do have that video, so I might test that out on this video. I might have it unlisted and just have it to where it's up in a card at the top right. Right now, I actually put it up in the top right now. So with the last video that I ended up shooting, but then the audio didn't come, I didn't connect my audio correctly, so I got no audio off of it, which sucked. But one thing that I did do on there was I did go through and get confirmation basically on how much fuel the fuel mileage is, like, so how many miles per gallon that you do get when the light comes on, and how much fuel, like, it basically you should have left at that point in time when the fuel light comes on. And with that, I was able to go through, and I'll have that on the screen right now from my last video. With it, I was able to see that when the fuel light comes on, you have 1.5 gallons remaining, or should, because I was able to go through and fill it up within like a mile of me, within a mile of my fuel light coming on. It did go through and equaled out to where whenever that came on, basically I put in right at 4 gallons of fuel into the bike. It's a 5.5 gallon tank, so that leaves you to where you have half a gallon before the reserve, and then at that point in time, I want to say it was like 193 point something miles that I had ridden at that point in time. And so with the difference between, like, you know, how much highway and city and stuff like that you ride, it did make sense for me then that it was like about approximate to what they're saying on the website, which is like 47 to 48 miles per gallon is what the Moto Guzzi V7 850 should be getting, which is nice because the options on the different modes, whenever you say like the average fuel and stuff like that, I'll actually flip to that now. Average fuel miles per gallon is 10.1, so that is not correct, and I don't know why that's not correct. Before I filmed the last Motovlog, I actually just filled it up. I started that one off by leaving the gas station, so I figured that was really good information to have. Since there is no fuel gauge on here, and I know a lot of people go through and say no fuel gauge, blah 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 blah. Also, in that same sense, I've never had a bike that's had a fuel gauge, so for me that wasn't a big deal breaker. It's just one of those things you kind of go through and say, hey, I need to fill up every 100 miles or 115 miles, depending on how much your fuel is, how much you know your fuel can go. But again, I just thought it would be good information to go through and have. I know a lot of people ask me a lot of like really in-depth questions on the comments. One of them was like, hey, are you going to be doing your, would love to see a video of you doing your services when you come around to that. And I'm like, yeah, it's going to be a while because I already like prepaid for the first 6 services on the bike through the dealership. So I want to make sure that that's handled, through them. I know somebody had asked me, and I can't remember if it was on Reddit or if it was on YouTube, what's the speed if you're traveling at say 85 or 90 miles an hour, like what are your RPMs on there in 6th gear. So you can see right now 90 miles an hour in 6th gear is just a little bit above 5,000, so I'd say probably about 5,100 RPMs. Red line is at 6,500 and rev limiters at 7,200, so you actually still do have a little ways to go. I know 70 miles an hour is 4,000 RPMs in 6th gear. One of the other questions that I got asked is if I was going to be putting on the Dart fly screen. I actually have a few times I've gotten asked about like a fly screen for it, which I do like the idea of going through and putting the Dart fly screen on. It's just a mixed bag, right? I've seen so many different reviews for the same model of fly screen on different bikes to where some of them say, yeah, no, it works great. Some of them say, no, it moves the air off your chest, but it puts it right at your helmet, and then you get a whole lot more like turbulent air on the helmet. So it's a hard one to go through and say yes or no. I know that eventually I probably will go through and get one on there just to test it out, like especially if these videos keep doing well, or if you guys go through and like help out with the Patreon and stuff like that. Like if I can actually start kind of justifying to the wife, hey, I was able to go through and get this fly screen because of the YouTube videos, then it's a lot easier for me to go through and say, yeah, I'm going to do that. And even if I do it for just a review of the Dart fly screen, I'm good with that, but I do have to go through and be able to justify the means for it. So if you guys would like to go through and see me do some testing out of some of these different products and stuff like that, definitely let me know down in the comments saying, yeah, test out this or test out that. And also let me know by liking the videos and subscribing to the channel if you're not subscribed. It does help me out a lot because it lets me know, hey, this is good information that people want, or they want to continue to see this kind of information as opposed to just watching that one video. So it helps me out, lets me understand what you guys want to see. I do want to go through and get the Moto Guzzi USB connector. It does look like there is a proprietary connector on it. As you can see right now on the screen, there's the little red and orange connector at the bottom of there, or the red and yellow connector at the bottom there. And there's underneath the seat, there is a connector that looks very similar. So, and I know that you can do other ones. You can do the ones that connect directly to the battery terminal and stuff like that. But yeah, I would like to check that out. I think that one's like $57 for that USB connector through Moto Guzzi. I'd like to try those things out. I just need to go through and kind of have that little bit of fundage come through so I can go through and get those things tested. I can tell you one of the things that actually is not functioning correctly, and I did talk to the dealership about this as well. The mode button down here that changes my functions on the clock, or on my gauge, is sticking. And so I asked them about that at the dealership. I said, hey, you know, it's sticking. It started sticking like 3 days afterwards, after I got the bike and everything like that. They are going to look at it. They said it can be like, they want to check to see if it's something to where they change that out with a new kind of model for it. They said that sometimes it can be something that if there's burrs in the plastic behind it, they can go through and cause it to stick, or they might have to go through and change out that part of the throttle body right there. So they're going to look at that and see what needs to be done for there and get it all taken care of. But that is the first thing that I've actually had to where it was a problem on the bike. Other than that, though, it's been a really nice experience. Everything about it. My dealership, they're all amazing up there, and they're very apt to make sure that you're happy with everything on the bike, that there's no problems. The bike itself, it's just very smooth, easy riding. Keansburg. Figure this is a good spot as any to turn around. Eventually I will get some videos going through the mountains and stuff like that. Right now though, it's just still so cold up on the mountains that riding up there is a bit of an adventure in itself. I know that I've gotten a few questions from you guys about pillion and how the passenger feels on the pillion seat, if it's comfortable, if it's big enough. One bit of information that I did figure out is not so much with the passenger on there, how they like it, but I was looking at, I'll have it on the screen right now, but one of the little commuter light, the commuter bags to put on the back on there, just a seat bag, a tail bag. But I was looking on there and trying to go through and get measurements for it to see what size I would need, because I don't want to get something that's kind of hanging off too much on there. And the seat is for the pillion itself is like 11 inches by 11 inches. So when you're looking at a lot of these different pillion bags, and that's directly for the seat, like you might be able to go through and get a little bit more off of that, maybe 11 and a half, 12 inches one way or the other. But with those dimensions on there, it does limit you a bit on some of the sizes. Obviously this is not a big cruiser, so you're not going to be able to get one of the big huge cruising bags on there. And they haven't really put out a whole lot of information for saddlebags on this bike yet. A lot of the manufacturers, they have saddlebags for the V7 3s and the V7 2s and stuff like that, but they don't have any yet for the V7 850s. And there is a little bit of a different design for how the pillion's set out and for how the sidebar and stuff like that is, like, because this one has a little bar on the back. I'm interested to start seeing some of those. I don't know if I want to do the full saddlebags, but it also is a bike that I do want to do some touring with. So, you know, in that mindset, I would need some sort of travel bags or something like that on here. But for the ones that I was looking at, the Nelson rig or something like that, with that one, the smallest size, the commuter light or something like that, was the one that would actually be the best fit for the seat, for the pillion seat back there, when not having a rider. Right now I have the little cargo nets, which is great, except for the fact that sometimes I don't want to put a full bag on there, and like a backpack or something like that. I just don't want to carry the backpack, but I would like to have something to go through and just throw some different stuff in there, you know, some water or GoPro stuff, you know, extra batteries and shit. So yeah, so far that is my views on the the bike, the rides, the weather lately. I'm not sure how much more time I got left on this one without having to switch out the batteries. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys have questions about anything like that, about my motovlogging setup, what I do, what I have, any accessories or anything like that on the bike or anything along those lines, just let me know. Drop them down in the comments below. Always happy to answer questions. And I will always try to go through and do everything I can to answer your questions and stuff like that you have in the comments. And if it's something that can't really be answered easily without, like, you know, kind of showing it or something like that, I definitely will try to get a video put up for it, even if it is something in the garage. But Air, I have a question for you. What do you guys use? Is there certain products that you guys use for washing your motorcycles? Also, is there things like, I haven't tested it yet, but somebody, one of the guys, he actually was from Japan, he actually asked, hey, the seat, you know, if it's out in the rain or whatever, does water seep into the seat, you know, or are you like soaked butt and crotch for the next couple of days? Which I haven't tested it yet because I don't want to just leave the bike sitting out in the rain. But I was going to bring it over to a car wash or whatever, or use my pressure washer at the house to go through and test out, you know, with that. But I just didn't know if there was something that on the leather seats, if there was some sort of product that you could put on there to go through and make it to where it stays, you know, more moisture locking and also preserves the leather and everything like that. That's something that I haven't ever had to deal with because my bikes that I had before were older and, you know, already had been torn up and stuff like that. So if you guys have any knowledge about anything like that, definitely let me know. I would appreciate it. Until next time, this is Dream Reaver 23 reminding you to ride happy. I love you all, and I will see you all later. Bye, guys.